I'm Neal Larsson, General Manager of On the Water. And on today's show, Chris, Megan, and I are going to introduce you to one of the elder statesmen of New England fishing, Charlie Cinto. We're going to take you back in time to a world of legendary captains, storied waters, and record striped bass.
New England experienced tremendous growth in saltwater fishing as men found more time for leisure activities after the Industrial Revolution. As World War II came to a close, recreational sport fishing flourished as men returned from Europe and the Far East, and these golden years of saltwater fishing extended into the 1960s and early 70s. At the center of attention for these men was the striped bass. In the long, rich history of saltwater fishing, few species are as close to the hearts of anglers in the Northeast as the mighty striped bass. The lore and history of striped bass fishing here in New England is rich. Nowhere was that lore stronger than Cuttyhunk Island, where captains such as Charlie Haag and Frank Sabatowski trolled the Sow and Pigs Reef. Our story today will focus on one day, June 16th, 1967. On that day, one of the legendary captains, Frank Sabatowski, was hired by a now legendary angler to fish the storied waters of Sow and Pigs Reef. The results, landing the largest striped bass ever taken on a rod and reel at that time, 73 pounds. We've tried to recreate that day 37 years later, right down to the vintage Brownell bass boat, wooden goo-goo-eye plugs, and the now 75-year-old angler himself, Charlie Cinto. Join us on today's episode of On the Water TV as Chris, Megan, and I fish with that legendary angler and sportsman Charlie Cinto on June 16, 2004, 37 years later, to recreate and relive the experience with Charlie as he tells us in his own words about the big one. Charlie's Fish to this day is a popular attraction at the annual Mass Striped Bass Sport Fishing Exposition at Gillette Stadium. In order to help recreate the day, we've lined up a beautifully restored Brownell bass boat, courtesy of its owner and today's mate, Jack Brand. We've even lined up our own genuine salty captain, our good friend and On the Water's contributing writer, Captain Ben Tripkin.
There's somebody that told me I'd have still been here today 37 years ago. That's a long time.
You've done a lot since then.
Well, let me tell you, if I gotta go, this is the way I want to go.
Right here.
Right here.
Charlie, when you were out here, and you get out here on the 15th, you said around 9 p.m., give or take. What was the tide doing at the time when you guys set up? What were you trying to fish? The backside of it, or at Devil's Bridge?
At Devil's Bridge, yes. Yeah. And you know, to get the idea, I mean, we're kind of running around here, but you try to set it up so if that rip is running right, you try to set it up so you stay in front of the rip and you're feeding your lure back into the rip. You're not actually running into the rip. That's how we fished it. Well, that's what, you know, if the condition was right. Sometimes you didn't have that right condition, so you know you'd have to move up and down. You'd just run back and forth. But even if the rip, if you had that real strong rip, you'd keep your boat out in front of the rip, and you would set your lure back. You just let your lure back go up, back into the rip, and you keep your boat in front of the rip, and you just glide back and forth in front of that rip.
What color Google were you using? Do you remember what color?
Huh?
What color Google?
Blue and white. It was blue and white Google. Well, we had yellow, blue and white, but blue and white was always my favorite color.
So, Charlie, this is the famous Google Eyes, or a similar plug to the one you caught the 73-pounder on that day back in '67. Yours was a little different, blue and white, you said?
Yeah, it was blue and white. The one I was using, blue and white. But we had yellows and we had greens on the boat too. And you know, it was just my favorite color. And I think mine was a little bit heavier than this. Of course, the eyes are missing on this one, but that doesn't mean anything.
Sure.
But it's basically the same plug. Right. Yep, and it was made the same way. It had 3 sets of trebles.
An interesting aside to this is these were actually the captain that day, Frank Sabatowski Lures. And Captain Ron Murphy was nice enough to loan these to us. He had got them through the family of Frank Sabatowski, and we're lucky enough to use them here today.
Oh, you were on the back, was it the high tide? You were fishing the drop-in tide?
Drop-in tide.
Yeah.
Was when that tide starts to let go, you take about the last half hour, when that tide starts to let go, and you're not really getting that pull, now we'd get up on that rip, and then we would run back and forth for about that last half hour. And a lot of times, actually, that was a time when you would sock a bigger fish for some reason. I can't tell you the reason, but I can remember many times that when we did that, for some reason, I guess those fish would come up when the tide let go and it was getting slower. They'd come right up on top of that reef. And when you ran up and down, then you have to sock a good fish.
When you picked up that 73-pound fish, did you know right away it was up that way?
Well, I mean, the minute that fish hit and took off, I mean, you know, I had caught my share of 40 and 50 pounders, and I knew, at least it felt that way, that it was a bigger fish. And when we got that fish into the boat, because my buddy Russ was at the stern with the gaff, and when he looked down and saw the head on that thing, he says, "Boy, you better hollering to Frank, you better give me a hand with this one." So they both were down there and got the gaff in him and hauled him aboard. And when I saw that fish, I was more than happy, because
yeah,
I knew that it was a 60-pounder. And so.
But you didn't have any idea it was upwards of the
no idea at all.
73
I mean, that was
pounds.
the farthest thing from my mind.
There you go.
That's
Right
what
on the drop, huh?
Just what I said.
Later in the day, we switched to jigs, which are a good daytime alternative in the spring.
There you go.
That's
Right
what
on
I
the drop, huh?
Just what I said.
Benny, I'm going to try to pick one up with him or not? Yeah. That right, Charlie. Is he on?
He was like a fairly good fish.
Just got a whack. Here we go.
Doubled up.
Here we go. We just picked up a couple of fish out here. Well, that seemed like it came to the surface like a bluefish there. How's yours pulling, Charlie?
Huh?
How's yours pulling?
Pretty good.
Mine just came up to the surface like it may have been a blue.
Must be on the nut. There it is.
All of a sudden we turned and came around. Captain dropped those fish in there.
Yeah, it just probably dropped enough, you know. This feels like a pretty heavy fish. I don't know.
Nice fish.
It feels that way. Let's put it that way. You're right over my line.
Yeah, mine might have just let go right there, which means I'll clear.
It did?
He might have just let go, or he's coming at us, but that's okay. I want to get it out of there.
Yeah, but you're coming up my line now. You want to go over here?
I'm going to get it off of there. Go right underneath me, Charlie. There we go. Mine wasn't blue. I think I saw him come right up to the surface. How's it feel? Any size to it?
It feels it. Christ, unless I got him hooked wrong or something. Of course, you're tugging a lot of wire too.
Yeah, his is definitely a bass. It stayed down. Mine came right up immediately.
Christ, he felt heavier than that. I don't know. You never know, I guess.
Hey, fish is a fish, right?
That's right.
Thanks.
He likes it.
It's not the 73 pounder that you had 37 years ago, but
Jesus Christ.
fish is a fish, right? Yeah. Yep.
Now you had to have it.
Here you go. Keep going, Charlie. I'll grab it right up. There you go. Catch and release.
You see that catch? Huh? One for us.
One for the good guys, huh? All right, Charlie. So what's that? Yeah, especially the small, the racers. They give that so much action to it. Yep. That's a good sign it's staying down too. Good sign it's a striper. This is probably about the same class as Charlie's he just picked up. That 36-inch fish. Seem to be stacked up right on the backside. It's about typical of the fish we seem to be hitting in here. What'd you say that, Jack, is about?
25.
25?
Yeah.
Nice fish, almost 40 inches or so. Chris Meagan with Jack Grant on board Rosebud, fishing with Charlie Cinto on the Water Magazine's Fishing New England. Let's get back to it.
Boy, it's full of lice, huh?
just started picking up some fish between 17 and 25 feet of water. Come over the hump. As soon as it starts dropping off, and the captain makes the turn, drops the jigs in, that's usually where they've been hitting. Had doubles on there for about 30 seconds. I picked up a bluefish and that came off, but we're gonna make that turn right about now. As the tides change, the action seems to be picking up a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, it seems like taking a little bit of line. There we go. Again, right when you kept making that turn, Ben, huh? He's right there on the surface again. You see him? Oh, yeah. There he goes. Gone. He's back. Whoa. No, it's a bluefish, G. It's gotta be. The way he's hitting that thing in. He came right back after it came off.
There we go. He's singing. Yeah, it's better than the other one.
Right at that spot, right when you made the turn, we had.
Well, my buddy, he gets them working and then, whoa.
I get them excited. Charlie brings them in.
Jesus.
That's it. He's the closer. I'm the setup guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you see that?
He's a hammerer, whatever he is. Every time I hit that knot, I can't get it through there.
What do you think, Charlie?
18.
18 pounds?
No, I don't know.
73.
We don't count them.
Walk over the. Got a little more size than the last one there,
Oh,
huh,
yeah.
Charlie?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's bigger, all
You
right.
can tell.
How big, I don't know, but he's bigger. Let's put it that way.
Got some weight to it. He's probably a 40+ inch fish. No, maybe 36. There you go. All right, hang on. There you go.
That boy's full of lice, huh?
Huh? Sea lice. Let me just, I'm gonna just set it down here because I got a little bit more of the, right in the corner. Master set it up right in the corner. This is Chris Megan with Charlie Cinto fishing on board the Rosebud on the Water Magazine's Fishing New England.
I'll catch him 10 years from now. I'll only be 85 years old.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you'd like to learn more about On the Water TV, visit us at onthewater.com. From the crew here at On the Water Magazine, we hope to see you on the water.
Today's show is brought to you by Lowrance. We lead, we find, you win.